Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Colonel's Corner. Joining us today is Wilkes women's soccer head coach John McNichol to preview the 2024 season. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Griffin.
So you're just a couple of days away from the start of the regular season. What's the energy like around the team?
It's been great. We've had a really good preseason camp so far. The young women have done a fantastic job, not just now, but obviously the last couple months, last year or two, of really focusing on team chemistry, making sure that it's an inclusive culture where everybody feels extremely valued. Just had a great session today where there's just so much positive peer feedback where someone's coming out, the person who's coming in to replace them, they're giving them that, hey, this is what was working, this wasn't working, and you can see it taking course, and you can just tell everything that they've been doing. They've been enjoying each other's company. They've been working hard together. So it's been a great start to the year, and hopefully it's a sign of good things to come.
Let's dig into the team a little bit. You returned 4 of your top 5 goal scorers from last season. Who are some key returners for the season?
Sure. I think, overall, whether it's in the back, in the middle, or up top, we've got some players coming back in all 3 spots. So I think when you have that veteran presence, that confidence, some of them have been 3-4 year starters for us now. They're pretty battle tested. They've played in some big games while they were, earlier in their career. Looking forward to getting hopefully back into the playoff picture here, and for some of them in their last year. Obviously having Holly and Sarah up top I think will be very helpful. Madison and Katie Seitz in the middle have done a great job, and obviously Brooke, Jordan, and Alex have been big parts of what we've done in the back. Obviously with the goalkeeping spot, it's going to be something very new. We graduated both of our goalkeepers last year, so we're really looking forward to. Obviously there's players who have been with us during their 4-year career, and then obviously the girls who were sophomores last year moving up to their junior year, same with the juniors moving forward, and then obviously our first-year players as well.
And let's talk about them a little bit. You welcomed 12 first-year student athletes to the team. What are your expectations from them in their first year of collegiate soccer?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for them is just playing with confidence. I think we preach all the time that you're going to have good days, you're going to have days where you're maybe not as technical or things aren't going as smoothly, but you can always control your work rate. You can always control your energy. And they've been doing a fantastic job of it. They've been learning. They've just fit in. I think that's been the fun part of this week, is it hasn't been, hey, here's our older returning group, here's our first-year girls, and there's really no interchange or intermixing, and it's just been really fun to see. They've been doing a great job. I think it's always hard whenever you leave home, you leave the comfort of your club team, people you've been with for the past 10 to 12 years, and now you come to a completely new place. Parents aren't here, and I have to give a huge, our upperclassmen have done a fantastic job of helping that adjustment period. I think they've done it. The first years have done a great job of coming in, just working hard, getting after it, listening, buying into what we're asking them to do, and we're really excited to see them progress, as student athletes throughout the season.
And now looking at the conference this year, last year was your first in the Landmark Conference. Now moving into Season 2, what lessons can you take from that inaugural year to help improve upon in Season 2?
Sure. I mean, it's a fantastic conference. The Landmark, it's just top to bottom. There's so much quality there. I think the neat part about the second season, we'll know where half the schools were that we hadn't been to before, but there's still some places we haven't been to yet, so we're looking forward to visiting those schools this year. But just getting familiar with the style of play. I think it was just one of those things for us where, it was a little bit different, and it was different in a good way. It was teams that were very tactical, very disciplined, just play a really good brand of soccer. And I think for us there's moments where there was a little bit of frustration, but they couldn't find the good in it in the moment. And then through some film and different things that we've done with them during our non-traditional season, I think they were seeing, hey, maybe we weren't that far off in some of these games, but keeping that mental toughness is really going to help us. But in my opinion, it's one of the top conferences in the country. Obviously you have the teams at the top have been fantastic for a while, but I mean, last year there were so many teams that were in it until I think almost every team was in it that last weekend, where if you got a win and something else happened, you were making playoffs. So I think it just speaks to the quality top to bottom, all fantastic academic institutions, great teams, really good coaches and players. So it's really fun to be a part of a conference that just showcases, high quality soccer day in and day out.
The Colonels opened their 2024 season at home at Bruggeworth Field against Oswego State this Saturday with kickoff set for 1 p.m. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck this season.
Thanks, Griffin.